What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy K-Mac here, coming at you with some more zombies gameplay, talking more about the Zombocalypse, talking about how and what we need to survive if it were ever to happen, if Z-Day were to ever to come. And in the last video, we went over some of the basics, firearms, food, water, things like that. And today in this video, we're just going to basically have a continuation of that. We're going to get to the things we couldn't get to, some more useful things, some more things you might not have thought of, and some things that are just kind of out there and out of the box that you would never think to have on you in case of an emergency, but can come really, really, really in handy and would really end up being a huge lifesaver down the road if something like this were ever to happen. And now, first off, we're going to start with a few obvious ones. And obviously, you're going to want a pocket knife or some form of multi-tool. And the uses for these are endless. You can whittle sticks with it, you can sharpen other things with it, you can cut things, you can, all kinds of things. And with the multi-tool, you come across something that has a screw that needs to be taken out, you take something apart, you can take it apart, you can break something down. The multi-tool and pocket knife combination is just so perfect. You just need to have one or two of them with you in your group at all times in case something comes up. There's a couple other things on here. Like I said in the previous video, you're going to need some form of water. Carrying water is very hard, and of course you have to make sure it's fresh water and clean water on top of that. So I recommended in the last video to use the purification packets or tablets. You can also try and carry enough bottled water on you if you're not going very far, if you have a short trip ahead of you, bouncing around from town to town. You can try and find some water, but I wouldn't recommend that in a zombie apocalypse situation, because bottled water is just not going to last very long, and it's very hard to carry. It takes up a lot of space in your backpack and your pack, and like I said, it's just a bitch to deal with. So I think the tablets, and overall, basically, you're going to have to start chancing it on what is like creek water, river water, rainwater. You're going to have to start a fire of some sort, which is what we're going to get to next, and you're going to have to boil that water, and you're going to have to basically make your own purified water, which leads me to my next thing. Is you're going to need fire. You're going to need fire. Is going to be essential, especially if you are living in a wooded area, if you're not taking refuge in any sort of like shopping mall or anything like that. Those are the big cliche ones. Either way, you're going to need some form of fire. So of course you're going to need some form of matches, a lighter. I personally would go with the flint and steel, just because it takes a lot more. You can get a lot more uses out of it. There's only so many matches in a box, and there's only so much fluid in a lighter. Sooner or later, those are going to run out. But with the flint and steel, basically you're set for life. Basically, there's not a whole lot you can do to it to make it not spark. And if you can master making a fire from flint and steel, you've got it made, and you've got a tool that is all kinds of useful. You can not only make yourself warmer and all kinds of stuff like that, you can dry things, you can boil water, you can cook, you can use fire for a light source. You can use it as some point if you need to defend yourself, maybe against wild animals, or maybe even zombies if you want to try and catch them on fire. That'd be pretty hardcore, but you could go ahead and do that. Fire is a very essential part of that, and I feel like having some sort of fire starting mechanism or device is key. Now, something that's a little more outside of the box, using your head thinking to have on you, would be something like having a bunch of giant plastic garbage bags. Not only are these garbage bags good for carrying things, and they're pretty durable. I mean, they do rip pretty easily, but if you're poking holes through them and getting them snag on things, but they're helpful to carry things. Not only that, but they're very, very good at waterproofing. You could make a shelter. If you're making a shelter, obviously you're making one outside. It might rain, and you do not want to be wet and miserable, obviously. So garbage bags are the perfect way to water seal that and make it watertight. And it's so easy. You just throw it on top and basically cover the entire top of it with garbage bags. Make sure that the runoff isn't coming in, and there you go. Now you're high and dry, basically, all because you had a couple garbage bags on you. And you would never think to have a package of garbage bags in your survival kit, but it's something to think about. Obviously not the most important thing. Do you need that as a necessity? No. But would it be in my personal kit? Yes, you can bet on it. Those would be in my personal kit, just because there's anything that has a multiple use to it like that. It's multifaceted. It can come in handy in more than one way. Is something you're gonna want. Is something you're gonna need. Another example of that is pantyhose. You may be thinking, "Wow, what the hell can you possibly do with pantyhose?" If you guys don't know what pantyhose are, most of you probably haven't really had much of experience with them, and neither have I, because obviously a male and I don't wear pantyhose. But they're just like a stretchy long sock that women put over their legs. I don't know, they're really, really stupid, but they can come in fucking handy. Those things are hard to rip, and you can fill it with pretty much anything. And it's another great way to carry something. You maybe carry ammo in there. You can carry food in there. You can carry pretty much anything in there. Also, you can use it as a mask if you need to use it as a mask. They also go. The best thing you do for it is you could use it as a way to address injuries. They, as you guys know, if you pull those things tight, they tie super fucking tight. They will actually stop bleeding on a wound. Say your arm is bleeding or something like that. You don't have any bandages. You know, just tie a pantyhose around it. It'll do the job, dude. It's very good for bandaging and stuff like that, and a very good multitask tool to have with you. You can do all kinds of things with it, and those are the kind of things that's going to help you stay alive in a situation. You know, staying ahead of the game, making sure that you do not get an infection from a small injury by making sure you address it with a bandage like a pantyhose and then clean it. This could be the difference between life and death pretty much in a zombocalypse situation. So things like that are very, very, very important to have. Another thing you guys you may not think about when you're preparing for the end of the world, but you're going to want to bring some form of entertainment. Now, something, obviously you can't have batteries for it. It can't be a PSP, it can't be a PlayStation Vita, it can't be an Xbox, and it can't be a TV. It can't be anything like that. It's got to be old school. It's got to be, you know, very minimal, and that's basically it. It's got to be small and portable at the same time. So I suggest something along the lines of a small paperback novel, one of your favorites, or a deck of cards, because there are so many uses for a deck of cards that you could just go on and on and on. And let me tell you, when the world's ending and there ain't shit to do, and there's like 4 or 5 of you just sitting around with nothing to do, a deck of cards could be like a lifesaver, just to keep your mind away from things, just to keep your thoughts away from how bad things are. You can kind of escape that for a couple minutes and play a game of poker, or you can try and play solitaire by yourself or something along those lines, just to have that like a little glimpse of humanity, to have that little bit of sanity back in you, could go a long ways. Little things like that's what's going to keep you alive, hopefully long enough to end this apocalypse situation. Some other things you might not really think about to put in there, but you're definitely going to want to put spare clothing items. Socks maybe are a huge one. You want to put some form of winter hat, maybe a coat, something along those lines, because you never know when this is going to happen, or what the weather is going to be like. So of course you're going to need something of all that can cover all bases when you're talking about climate and weather and things like that. So anything like that, rain jacket, rain boots, just have them ready. This obviously is getting a lot of stuff to carry. So if it push comes to shove, you got to pick what you got. You can only pick so much to carry. You got to pick the necessities, and sometimes things will get cut, but hopefully you'll have enough on you to help you at least get by for a little bit until you can find some other people or find some help of some sort. But that just about does it for everything that I would put in my personal Zombocalypse preparation kit. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. I'm sure I'm missing just all kinds of essential things that make so much sense. I know if you guys haven't seen the first part of this video, please go check out the first part of this video so you can see the other half, where I talk about firearms and all that kind of stuff like that you'll need to survive. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. I want to know what you guys would have with you. What kind of gun do you have? What kind of would you guys? Well, fuck, I got a teddy bear, not a weapon. That really pissed me off. But would you guys bring me? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you guys would have, and also tell me a comment of where you guys would stay. That is going to be the next video in this series. Is going to be about where you would stay. Where would be your shelter? Obviously. Something along the lines of having a good defensive line would be good. But that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys can drop me a like. It'd be very much appreciated. And as always, guys, game the fuck on. Until next time, peace out. Alright, if you guys are new around here, you guys can feel free to subscribe and feel free to just leave a comment telling me what you guys would want in your survival kit, and also where you guys would stay, like where your shelter would be in the case of a zombocalypse, because I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys. And that's it, guys. Have a good day. Game the fuck on. Until next time. Peace out.